Can you imagine? You're a world-renowned scientist. You have satellites that can read a license plate from space, submarines that dive to the deepest ocean trenches, DNA sequencing that can track a single fish across the globe. And yet, there's one thing you've never seen. Something so basic, so fundamental, that it's almost embarrassing to admit. You've never seen an eel have sex. Not once, not ever, in the entire history of human observation. But here's where it gets truly insane. This mystery was so maddening that it drove one of history's greatest minds to the edge of obsession. A young medical student who would later become the father of psychoanalysis. His name? Sigmund Freud. And he spent 4 weeks of his life chopping up over 400 eels, searching desperately for something that would haunt him for decades. What was he looking for? Male reproductive organs. Because here's the thing that will blow your mind. Nobody had ever found testicles on an eel. Ever. Were eels some kind of all-female species? Did they reproduce by magic? Did they literally emerge from mud like ancient myths suggested? The mystery was so profound that it would shape the career of the man who would later revolutionize our understanding of human sexuality. But wait, it gets weirder. Much weirder. Every year, something extraordinary happens in rivers across Europe, America, and Asia. Millions of eels begin to change. Their stomachs literally dissolve because they will never eat again. Their eyes grow massive, preparing for the darkness ahead. Their skin thickens. Their blood chemistry completely transforms. And then they disappear. These silver eels slip away in the dead of the night, beginning one of the most mysterious migrations on Earth. They're heading toward a single destination thousands of miles away. A place so remote, so alien, that it might as well be another planet. The Sargasso Sea. Despite decades of satellite tracking, despite following eels with cutting-edge technology, despite knowing exactly where they're going, we have never, not once, witnessed what happens when they get there. Think about that for a second. We've filmed lions mating on the African savanna. We've recorded whales singing love songs in the depths. We've watched pandas awkwardly attempt reproduction in zoos around the world. But eels, the most successful fish species on the planet? Complete mystery. So what exactly are they doing in the Sargasso Sea? Why has this mystery eluded us for centuries? The Sargasso Sea isn't like any other body of water on Earth. It's a floating wilderness in the middle of the Atlantic, defined not by land but by circulating currents. Picture an area twice the size of India, filled with golden seaweed mats stretching to the horizon. Scientists have recently attached satellite tags to 26 eels and tracked them for up to 366 days, providing the first direct evidence of adult European eels actually reaching the Sargasso Sea. But here's the catch. Once they arrive, they vanish into the depths. We believe they spawn somewhere in this vast underwater desert. Millions of eels releasing clouds of sperm and eggs in the darkness, 3,000 feet below the surface. The adults then die, their life's mission complete. But has anyone ever seen this happen? Filmed it? Photographed it? Absolutely not. The ocean has guarded this secret for millions of years, and it's not giving up easily. But what emerges from this spawning ground? It is wild because the babies that hatch don't look like eels at all. From those mysterious eggs in the Sargasso Sea hatch some of the strangest creatures on Earth. They're called leptocephali. They look like transparent leaves drifting through the water. These ghost-like larvae are so bizarre that when scientists first discovered them, they thought they were a completely different species. Recent surveys have found eel larvae spread across 2,000 kilometers of the Sargasso Sea, proving that spawning occurs across this massive region. These transparent babies drift on ocean currents for months, sometimes years, slowly transforming as they travel thousands of miles back to the coasts of Europe and America. They arrive as glass eels, still transparent but now recognizably eel-shaped. Millions of them swarm into rivers and streams, beginning the cycle all over again. It's one of the most extraordinary life cycles in nature, spanning continents and generations. But the mystery of how they're created? That remains locked away in the depths of the Sargasso Sea. Now, let me tell you about the young man who became obsessed with solving this puzzle. A man whose frustration with eel sexuality would eventually lead him to revolutionize our understanding of human psychology. In 1876, a brilliant 20-year-old medical student named Sigmund Freud arrived at a research station in Trieste, Italy. His mission? Spend 4 months dissecting 400 eels to find male reproductive organs. His professor had sent him there because rumors were swirling. Someone claimed to have finally found testicles in an eel. Picture young Freud in that seaside laboratory, scalpel in hand, methodically cutting open eel after eel after eel. Day after day, he spent every waking hour doggedly cutting up eels and searching their cold, lifeless bodies for reproductive organs. But here's the thing that makes this story so incredibly poignant. Freud never had a chance. We now know that eels only develop their reproductive organs during their final migration to the Sargasso Sea. Every single eel he dissected was sexually immature. He was searching for something that literally wasn't there yet. Freud had to conceal failure in his first major published research paper and turn to other issues in frustration. But think about the profound irony here. The man who would later spend his career analyzing human sexual psychology began by failing to understand the sexuality of another species entirely. Did this failure plant a seed? Did the mystery of eel reproduction inspire his later fascination with the hidden aspects of sexuality? We'll never know for sure, but the connection is fascinating. What we do know is that Freud's frustration was shared by scientists for generations. The eel's secret was so well kept that it would be another 2 decades before anyone found a mature male eel. Even today, the mystery isn't fully solved. For nearly a century after Freud's failed expedition, scientists continued to chase the eel mystery. They tracked migration patterns, studied larvae, and developed increasingly sophisticated theories. But the actual act of reproduction remained hidden. Then, in recent years, technology finally began to catch up with eel secrecy. Scientists have yet to observe mating in the wild, but the discovery of adult eels in the Sargasso Sea represents a tremendous milestone. We can now track individual eels on their 6,000-kilometer journey from European rivers to the spawning grounds. But even with all our modern technology, the fundamental mystery remains. We know where they go, we know when they go, we can follow them with satellites and underwater sensors. But what happens in those dark depths of the Sargasso Sea is still largely unknown. Some scientists now propose that spawning might occur across an even larger area, possibly extending to the mid-Atlantic ridge. The mystery may be even bigger than we thought. There's an urgent reason why solving the eel mystery matters more now than ever before. Since the 1980s, the European eel population has declined by 95%. These incredible creatures, survivors of millions of years of evolution, are now critically endangered. Imagine, we might lose one of the world's most extraordinary species before we even fully understand how they reproduce. It's like watching a library burn down before we've read the books. Scientists are working frantically to crack the code. They've managed to breed eels in laboratory conditions using hormones and carefully controlled environments. In 2006, researchers successfully bred eels in captivity and kept the larvae alive for 4.5 days. By 2007, they extended that to 12 days. But raising eel larvae to maturity remains incredibly difficult. The clock is ticking. Each year, fewer eels make the epic journey to the Sargasso Sea. Each spawning season might be one of the last chances to witness this ancient ritual. So here we are in the 21st century, with all our sophisticated technology, and eels are still keeping their deepest secret. We've mapped the human genome. We've photographed black holes. We've landed rovers on Mars. But we still can't answer the question that tormented young Sigmund Freud 150 years ago. How do eels actually mate? The closest we've come is finding their babies scattered across thousands of miles of ocean, like clues to a crime we never witnessed. We know the outcome, but the act itself remains hidden in the abyss. Perhaps that's fitting. In a world where every corner's been explored, every secret seems to have been revealed, the eel maintains its mystery. It's a reminder that nature still holds cards we haven't even seen, stories we haven't heard, secrets we haven't even unlocked. Every year, as autumn approaches, silver eels slip silently from rivers around the world. They're answering a call that's older than human civilization, older than mammals, older than the continents themselves. It's a summons written in their DNA, passed down through millions of years of successful reproduction. They swim toward the Sargasso Sea with eyes grown large for the darkness ahead, stomachs dissolved for a journey with no meals, bodies transformed for a purpose they've never experienced before. Most will never return. This is their final act, their ultimate sacrifice for the continuation of their species. And when they arrive in those warm, deep waters, among the drifting golden seaweed, something magical happens. Something we've never seen, never filmed, never fully understood. The ocean swallows them whole. From that darkness, new life emerges. Scientists may someday solve the mystery. New technology might finally capture that elusive moment when eels spawn in the depths. We might finally understand the complete story of one of Earth's most successful species. But until that day comes, we're left with questions that have persisted for centuries. Left with the same wonder that drove Freud to dissect hundreds of eels in a seaside laboratory. Left with one of the last great mysteries of the natural world. The next time you see a river, remember, somewhere in those waters might be an eel, growing, waiting, preparing for the journey of a lifetime. A journey to a secret place where one of nature's most extraordinary stories continues to unfold, hidden from human eyes, protected by the vast mysterious ocean. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly as it should be. Some secrets are worth keeping. Some mysteries are meant to endure. And the secret life of eels remains one of nature's most beautiful, maddening, and utterly captivating enigmas. Would you dare dive into the Sargasso Sea to witness what no human has ever seen? The answer might be worth a lifetime of searching.